In this video, I'm going to tell you about the different editing modes for your document. Anytime you create a new document or you open up an existing document, by default, you're in what's called editing mode. And I know that because I've got all of my formatting options here, but also notice on the right, there's a little pencil, and yours might actually say editing. But if I click this little arrow next to that pencil, the pencil stands for editing. There are some additional modes here. One option is called viewing. If I click viewing, I get a cleaner view of my document. So it gets rid of all this formatting stuff. And also, I can't do any editing of my document. So no matter what I try and type or delete, I can't do anything. And if I want to get back to be able to edit my document, I have to go back up to this mode button and switch us into editing. Well, there's another option on here that it's not really my favorite, but if you are somebody who really likes the markup editing tools when you're using Microsoft Word, you're going to like this. Under editing, this time I'm going to choose suggesting and watch what happens. So I've got this document here. If I highlight all this and I delete it, watch what happens. It marked out all of my text, and over on the right side, it gave me this little comment box, and it says what the edit was, that this was the text that was deleted. And things like if I come down here and maybe I want to add more text, it keeps putting this little green bar around it, and if no matter where I then click my mouse, it leaves then green text. And if we had other people that were working on this document with us at the same time and they were editing, they would have their own colors. So I personally don't like this because I don't like how it marks up the document. It's too cluttery for me. However, if you do, there's one feature that you might really appreciate, and that is over on the right side when it's leaving this little note about what was edited, it's also giving you the option to have a conversation about that. So if I just click on the comment box, which I just did, and if I click my mouse into that reply box, I can say, not needed at all, and hit reply. We can actually have a conversation about this edit that was made and noted here. If I decide, and I'm just going to click out of this, and that'll just always hang out over here in the margin. So this is my reply. If I click on these three dots are a little secret menu. If I click on that, I have the option to edit it. I'll hit save. Or if I want, I can delete it. Only you can delete your own comments. Notice next to each of these, we have a checkbox and we have an X. So if I, down here on this second box, it's telling me that my edit was add more text. If I want to accept that, I'll hit the check mark and it'll turn back into normal text. And if I want to accept this edit, I can hit the check mark. I'm going to hit undo. If I want to reject this edit, if I hit the X, it puts my paragraph back there. But I'm still in suggestion mode, so still when I go to make changes anywhere in my document, I'm always going to end up with this green. And also, usually when you're going to be using this markup, the suggestion tool, that means you're collaborating on the document with someone else. Normally, you're not going to be using the suggestion tool for a document that only you are authoring. Otherwise, you'll just end up in conversations with yourself and choosing to accept or reject your own edits, which doesn't really make much sense. So just remember, if you're going to be using the suggestion tool, it's probably going to be in a time when you are collaborating with others. I personally prefer for collaboration to just use the standard comment tools. And that way it doesn't mark up my document, but I still am able to leave notes basically in the margins of my file. And I will talk about comments, using the comment and other collaboration tools in other videos. But just so you know, you still have this ability to have these margin conversations about your documents when you're working with other people without having to rely upon this suggestion tool, which leaves you with some ugly markup, and it can get really confusing when you're working with a bunch of people. So those are the different modes you can use when editing your document. In general, you're pretty much going to be on editing mode.